What's going on, ladies and DeGents? Happy holidays from the Distinguished DeGents podcast. You're one of many homes of degenerate gambling. I'm one half of the Distinguished DeGents coming at you live Friday night. I'm Steve Big Bucks of Beta. Joining me as always, it is my co-host, my partner in gambling. Happy holidays to the one and only Jason Money Mansman. Hope you and your family had a great Christmas. Hope your wallet was also extra blessed with the coverings of Kansas City and and Baltimore.
Yeah, can't say that my betting was too bad. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas as well. Hopefully, we'll kick the new year off right, even though it's technically going to be the end. Maybe I should say we will have a good end to the year with a good week 17. It's going to be a tough week, but
oh yeah,
let's try and end 2024 off strong, off the right way.
Let's end it off the right way before we get into Chaos Week, aka known as Week 18 for the Distinguished DeGents, where one season we did real good. Last two seasons has been very hit and miss. And now with still going into Week 17, so many playoff implications yet to be set. I have a feeling this week we're going to see a lot of, especially with the way Baltimore went, Kansas City went. I feel like a lot of things are going to be set in stone for Week 18. Might be a little bit more of a traditional type of handicapping for that time frame. A lot of sharps, though. I don't know about you, but I watched at least 4 different shows or listened to them just over the break. I have never seen a week where they are just so all over the place. And it just seemed like for whatever reason, these 2 Christmas games just threw everybody off.
I was going to say, maybe they're out of sync since they were chugging that Houston Texans plus 5.5.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking there. I mean, I told you off camera, and I hate to be this kind of guy, especially as somebody who wants to be a pro bettor, but I wish I had just thrown a quick hit because literally, I was thinking, I was like, wow, Chiefs, Steelers, that would have been my under of the week. Hammered the under, hammered the Chiefs, got 4 units out of that, and then I did a 2.5 unit. I would have made the Ravens minus 5.5 my best bet against a lowly Texans team. No Tank Dell anymore, and it was just that. Just to me, that was a dream crusher spot for the Texans, especially since they already clinched the division. I was like, they really don't have much to play for, and it just seems like the soul has been sucked out of that team. And sure as shit, they only got 2 points. I don't even know how they got the safety, to be honest with you, but
I should have done the Chiefs Ravens parlay because it was so predictable. If the Chiefs won, Baltimore was going to be super enthused for the game, and there was no way Baltimore was going to lose to blow that opportunity. And
no.
Yeah. Your recap of the Christmas games. Ready? Here it goes. It's very quick. We don't need to get into any big specifics unless you really want to. Here's the recap. Pittsburgh, they're done. Their season's over. Houston, they're done. Their season's over. Both teams are cratering. They've hit the iceberg. They're sinking like the Titanic. It's all over, but the crying. Pittsburgh's going to be playing a road game. They're going to get trounced. And Houston just sucks.
Yeah. I got nothing else really to add to that, but how about that Thursday night game?
Okay, you told me I have to tell the story. This is how bad it was. So with the holidays, I completely forgot what day it was. I didn't even realize there was a football game on. And then
Speaking of it's all over.
So then my dumbass, I look and I'm like, oh, there's a football game on today. And it was 6-3, and I'm like, oh, I didn't miss anything.
No. I'm dedicating this song by the Ink Spots, It's All Over, but the crying. Dedicating to the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, they're another one.
The fact that they're in the playoff contention after that performance is just despicable. I thought the 12-6 game with the Niners and Rams with the weather was bad. Jesus Christ, they found a way to find two worse teams to do it with. And Caleb Williams is officially a bust. I am now on that train with you. That was a game, multiple opportunities to at least get them in field goal range. And he just took sack after sack after sack after incomplete after literally, again, it's funny because they always brought it up. Oh, yeah, he told the punter he wasn't going to punt much. Literally, they go through the drive, like the driving, like every drive, punt, 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 field goal, punt, punt, punt. Yeah, Caleb Williams, bust might be the biggest bust of this generation.
This is looking like Jamarcus Russell. I mean, he's just really, he can't read a defense.
I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far, but bust of the century for the Bears.
To be fair, he's not eating himself out of football yet. But, I mean, let's be honest. This guy was number one pick, and he's dreadful.
Well, the reason I think it's bust of the year, I don't really think it's him all per se. I just think that the Bears as an organization, I don't know. Like, you could say that they did the right thing taking him number one overall. I've also heard that it wouldn't have mattered if they took Jaden Daniels or Caleb. That whole organization is like a bunch of frauds. They all should be fired.
You really think Washington is that much better as a team than Chicago? I mean, the coaching, let's be honest, it's Dan Quinn. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Washington isn't slightly better. But Caleb Williams can't read a defense. He has no.
Oh, no. I think by that argument, you could say both quarterbacks would be terrible. Like, I don't think. Like, my argument was, I don't think it would matter if Jaden Daniels or Caleb went to Chicago. Both would have failed epically. I can't say neither here nor there whether Dan Quinn would have done well with Caleb Williams or not, like he has with Jaden. But that's a separate argument for me.
And
what I'm saying, Chicago is like a dumpster fire.
I will break your argument with one name, Drake May. May is in just as bad of a position, probably worse, because let's be honest, New England has no one. And you saw the serviceable performance they put up against the Bills last week. Like, Drake May has shown you something. Caleb Williams has shown nothing.
Do you think that any of that has to do with New England's coaching or their organization? Because, I mean, the one thing you could say about Robert Kraft is, it is a, like, true rebuild dynasty at this point. But wouldn't you rather be under Robert Kraft than you would for whoever the fuck owns the Bears now?
Well, I think you definitely have a better organization.
John Mara, would you rather be under Kraft or John Mara? I'd rather be on. I think you'd rather say at least Robert Kraft seems to have his head on his shoulders. These other owners, they don't fucking know. They don't know shit.
Well, again, I mean, I think the problem is though, like, name one weapon on New England and compare it to Chicago. Like, who's better, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, or
Jacoby Myers? Maybe like
is Jacoby Myers?
No, I don't know. I just maybe
like New England has nobody. Hunter Henry,
Ramondre Stevenson. I get where you're coming from, and I think that is a valid argument. I would just say that, like, I mean, Caleb has gone through 3 head coaches now in less than a season.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that would be successful in that? Now, will Caleb Williams be better under, like, a tight regime? I don't think so. And that's why I'm like, yeah, he's bust of the century. Like you said, he can't read a defense. He's scrambling 7-8 seconds per play, trying to make something happen instead of just throwing it out or running for the yard or two just to keep the ball moving forward. It's like, I don't know how many he has to have the most backwards plays on the year. Like,
it's like I said, man, you can't teach just not being able to read a defense, like not having a clue. And that's what he looks like. He looks like he just doesn't have a clue. He just holds on to the ball and eats sacks. He's looking like Bryce Young, where Bryce Young just couldn't read a defense and would eat shit. That's Caleb right now.
Yeah, And it's like it's almost like a really weird impersonation of Kyler Murray. Except Kyler Murray, like, the difference with him, he knows when to run forward.
Yeah,
Like,
it
he
really
does do some
hurts me to
scrambled
say
plays.
this. Kyler Murray is like 100 times the quarterback Caleb Williams. He's like so much better.
But that's the difference. Like, Kyler does the same kind of bullshit from time to time, but he knows when to look and go, I need to move. I need to go forward. I just need to get the scramble. Maybe not get the first. I just need to move the ball. And like, you just see the difference with like the Cardinals team, who, let's be honest, I don't think they're that much better than the Bears. I think they're frauds too. But just like the minute differences with like just throwing to the tight end, just like checking it down to the tight end. Look at the Cardinals compared to the Bears. Like, Cole Kmet used to be somebody in the NFL. Now he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Please, DJ Moore used to be somebody in the NFL, and he's irrelevant. Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift is the one. This guy was a legitimate NFL running back, and now he's total shit.
Yeah, I got no other comments other than he will be bust of the year until he gets his shit together. And there are things you can coach. I don't know if it may just be he's not coachable. I don't know. But we got another, boy, oh boy. So we've already got 3 games going on this week. We didn't do any handicaps. So for my record, I have them grayed out. They will not be included since we did not give out official handicaps. It does count towards my betting record, but not towards like our personal record here on the show. So those are grayed out. We have a remaining 13 games to go over though. So we still got a pretty full card. We got 3 Saturday games. Then we have the normal Sunday slate and then Monday Night Football. So Mansman, final opening remarks in terms of week 17. We have Chaos Week impending. We have a lot of playoff games that are not playoff. We have a lot of playoff clinching scenarios. What is your strategy if you're like a regular bettor? Do you play the playoff strategy trends? Do you play just game by game? Do you play with the records at this point and just say this team has something to play for, this team doesn't, and just make that your handicap? Or is there some other strategy you're going to plan on implementing?
Well, I think motivation's always a factor at this stage. So if you can find the motivated teams, that could really help. And I also like to do, and again, I should have done it. I also like the connector games, meaning Pittsburgh loses. You knew Baltimore was going to come out with a big effort. I actually should have played the Kansas City Buffalo one. Like I actually should have played the Jets this week, although I guess I still can plus the points. Like I just like those connector games for situations where, depending on the result, one team's outlook and motivation may change. And then of course there's your fades, those bad teams that have just given up like Chicago. Very unfortunate that Seattle couldn't get the cover, but I mean, you see there's a couple teams that are just playing out the year, just dead in the water.
Yeah.
Those are the teams you want to back at this or want to fade at this stage of the year.
And there's also another angle too. There are the teams that have lost. They're looking to be spoiler maker. They are looking to bring people down with them. Prime example, the Carolina Panthers. They are a dead man walking team as well. They're not that good, but they are clearly still coming out firing. They're motivated. I don't know if it's for the sake of film. I don't know if this coach just has them getting up every week, but that's a team where like I'm looking at it, and that's a spot where I'm like looking at them and I'm like, yeah, I'm not discounting the Panthers just because the season's about to end. This is a team that does not give a fuck.
And by the way, let's call this moving week for the contest. We have on the ATS contest, and we did all 16 games. We got in early, all 16.
That's true.
5 differences.
Oh, boy.
This could be moving week for the contest. We're tied up with 2 weeks left.
This could be
anything else.
This could be the make or break week. I love it. All right, week 17, we are kicking things off. We've already gone through the Christmas games. We recapped Thursday Night Football shit. I don't want to ever talk about it again. All right, let's get into the Saturday game. let's kick it off Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All 3 games on Saturday are going to be on the NFL Network. Unfortunately, we have to start with this shit. It's the LA Chargers laying 4.5 on the road now, going to New England in Foxborough. Cold weather. The over-under is 41.5. The Chargers are a minus 250 road favorite. The Pats 2-1 underdog on FanDuel. And I think I may have messed up that over-under line. It looks like it's now at 42.5. LA, big public side, 82% of the bets, 87% of the money. Motivation here. Chargers win, they clinch a playoff spot. I think if they lose and Denver loses as well, I think they also clinch. But I could be wrong. I had a list up with the clinching scenarios, and actually it's right here. But Mansman, I'm going to defer this first one to you. Because this to me is like a Chewbacca line, if you ask me. And by the way, it's Chargers either need to win or the Colts and the Dolphins both need to lose. So nothing with the Denver game.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So, why is this only 4.5? Like,
does feel trappy, doesn't it? It does feel trappy.
Yeah. I cannot for the life of me figure this out.
I mean, I'm not going to look too far into this one. There's not really that much you could say. The Chargers need to win. This is a game where the coaching advantage is going to be clearly in Harbaugh's favor. And I also don't like the fact that New England's coming off a good game that they played in Buffalo. So you kind of feel like this feels like a good laydown spot for New England, where I think they've lost 9 of their last 10 at home. They haven't been good at home. The Chargers need the win. My only concern is team out west, 10 a.m. start time, like local. So that could mess things up. But with the with a Harbaugh coach team on the road in New England, I think they find a way to get it done. The only way I could look is Chargers minus 4.5 here. It does look trappy, so I'm a little concerned about that, but this would be the way to go for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of every possible angle, and I mean, let's start with neutral site. Like, if this game's on neutral site, 5.5, 6, I'd still take LA in this spot. Even if it was 5.5, 6, now it's 4.5.
Yeah, I think you take them up to a touchdown, definitely.
Yeah, coaching matchup, like you mentioned, Harbaugh over Gerard Mayo every fucking time. Quarterback, look, I mean, keep going to the quarterback. You could make the argument that it's split even at best. But I think in reality, you give the edge to Justin Herbert. I think if for anything, it's just gaming experience sakes and nothing else. Situationally, like you said, the Patriots, they're almost at dead man walking stage after that Buffalo loss, like you said. And the Chargers, too, I'm thinking, what evens that out is they're coming off that Thursday night win against Denver. So while there is rest advantage, and favorites have been hitting at a crazy rate this year that's almost never been seen, I do wonder, that win against Denver, I don't know if that's their Super Bowl. So is this a lay down spot? But with the fact that they have playoffs on the line still going into week 17, I think they have to come out swinging in this one. I think they have to win. And that's how they're going to come out. I don't see New England being able to play upset twice in a row. And they let's be honest, they should have beat Buffalo with Josh Allen having probably his worst performance all year. They still found a way to lose. Chargers, there's a couple angles where I think maybe this is why the number makes sense. The Chargers have actually been really terrible on Saturdays. They have lost 5 of their last 6, and they're 0-3 since they moved to LA on Saturdays. But if you look at their opponents, it was Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo. This is post-Tom Brady, post-Bill Belichick, New England, who's now 0-2 on Saturdays in that stretch. The Patriots historically own the Chargers, but that was in the Brady era. And since Brady left, it's 1-1. And the Patriots literally got shut out 6-0 when they had Bailey Zappi. So, I mean, maybe that's it too, where it's like we've seen Herbert against the Patriots. They only put up 6, but I just think Harbaugh is like the X factor in this situation. So I'm all over the Chargers here, and I'm all over this. I had over 43.5, but the more I think about it, it's going in the opposite direction. It was 41.5. Now we're back to 42. The more I think about it, this is probably an under game. I think this could be a Chargers defensive showing.
Yeah. And the line feels light, definitely. And yeah, I mean this just has a look of like 24-6, 24-9. But I think the Chargers dominate here, and it's not really a particularly close game.
Nope. All right, moving on. I had you kick it off, so now it's my turn because the next game on Saturday is my Denver Broncos catching 3 on the road as an underdog once again. Plus 154 on the money line. They're traveling to Cincy, though, minus 184 for them, also laying 3. The over-under is 49.5, and Cincy, another public favorite, 71% of the bets and 78% of the money. Yeah, I guess it's my team. I go. I said the Broncos will not win another game this season, and I think they are starting to fizzle out at the worst possible time in the season. You look at that performance against the Colts at home. You can make the argument Jonathan Taylor doesn't drop the ball. They probably lose that game. Against the Chargers, fair catch interference, Chargers get 3, changes the whole momentum. Can't convert on third down. Big problem for Denver. The one thing you can give them, they have rest advantage, and every reason on defense, including Riley Moss, cornerback, he will be returning for this game. Basically, the argument for Denver is going to be that they find a way to shut down Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, although no one has really been able to do that this year. They're also going up against the Bengals, who are terrible at home. They're 2-5 straight up in ATS all season. The Broncos are actually good on the road. They're 6-2 ATS. They've won 4 of their last 5 in Cincinnati. So I'm going to reverse course. I'm going to be Barney. I'm going to pick Denver. My really only reason, Cincinnati, I'm not betting on Cincinnati's defense as a favorite. I can't. I did it once when they played Dallas on Monday night. They should have lost that game. They didn't. I'm not going to get cute. I'm not going to be like, well, this is the game that Cincy's defense has a good showing against a rookie Bo Nix. No, I don't think we understand how bad Cincinnati's defense is really.
No, I'm a little confused because in our contest, you picked Cincinnati minus 3.5.
I'm going to change it.
The contest already started. I don't know if you can.
I think. Oh, well, shit. Let me double check that if I can, but if not.
Boy, that could be the caser right there. Could you imagine Denver fucking loses you the caser bet?
Yeah, let me see. I might not, but the more I think about it, it's like when this comes down to defense, Denver's is like significantly better. Whereas I think Cincinnati's is shit. And this could be a Bo Nix bounce back spot. And that explains the over-under total too, why it's so high. The Bengals gave up 27 to Mason fucking Rudolph. I just don't know. Like, again, it's situational, but I think Denver isn't a must-win. I have a bad feeling if they lose this and have to go into Week 18 hosting Carson Wentz, there could be some witchy shit going on in that game. There's no reason Kansas City doesn't come out motivated for that. So, with that said, this is, again, I hate to do it. It's a default play because there really isn't many other underdogs I do like. And this was the biggest one I got. So give me my dog of the week, Martin Gaillett, one more time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and you can't get fooled again. So,
Okay.
fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to call this my fade of the week. And I am fading the Cincinnati Bengals. It's time. This team's been a disappointment all year. They haven't beaten one semi-good team all year. They've gotten fat with a bunch of tomato can quarterbacks, tomato can teams, Dallas, Cleveland, Tennessee. That's their resurgence. Their resurgence is beating up on shit teams. Well, this defense is different. Denver coming off the long rest. They're going to be ready to go. I just hope the one thing that could lose this game for us, fucking Sean Payton getting conservative, which we saw a lot last week, which scares me. Let the rook play. Cincinnati's defense is dog shit. If they let him go, they're going to be fine. I have been waiting to fade Cincinnati. To me, they're beating up on a bunch of tomato can teams. This is the week where it happens. It's time for Cincinnati to go back in the dirt. I'm tired of hearing about them. Denver Broncos all the way, fade of the week. Let's go.
And let me give you some numbers too. Like, this is a big difference of why. Like, because again, gut feeling initially was that Denver's going to lose out, and admittedly, emotion played a part of it. The Chargers are the number one red zone defense this year in the rankings. Cincinnati, 30th in red zone touchdowns, 31st in touchdown percentage.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They are second to last, 31st in touchdowns allowed. 27th in rushing touchdowns, 28th in passing. Passing yards, they are 27th. Yards per game, I'm looking at it right now. They're 29th. Like, they are literally behind Jacksonville, Carolina, and New Orleans. That is how bad the Bengals defense has been. And again, like, the only comp I could say is, will Joe Burrow keep up? Will Joe Burrow just expose this Denver's defense? That's the catch-22, where I think, if Joe Burrow has a God game, that's how he's going to have to beat this team, in my opinion. It's just going to have to be the worst defensive showing probably since Jameis Winston. But I don't know. It could be the case. We seem to have struggled against AFC North teams. That's another concern.
No, that is true. That is true. But and Cincinnati's been good against the AFC West, but then again, they did lose to the Chargers, and I don't know. Like you said, Cincinnati at home, and I've just been looking to fade them. They're no good.
Got it. So you said this is going to be your fade of the week.
Fade of the week, yep.
And I'll just put Broncos +3. We'll put that on the list. Boom, boom. No, come on, you fuck. There we go. Damn, so we have a sort of double best bet here. Money Manson's fade of the week. Broncos +3. I'm going Broncos money line as my dog of the week. So we got a double bester. So I think if we end up building a corp, we're out there sneaking Broncos in this one. All right. Next up, Saturday night. It's not college football. It's NFL. Line has not moved, though, ironically enough. LA Rams laying 6.5 at home, -280. Hosting the Arizona Cardinals, who are +230, road dog, +6.5. Over-under is 47.5 points. LA is a big favorite as well. 82% of the money, 68% of the bets. Mansman, I know the NFC West is your favorite division. I know you love talking about them so much, but what to do with this game, sir? What to do?
This was one of my tougher ones because I didn't really – the number didn't thrill me, but I have a feeling this is a revenge spot. Rams got embarrassed earlier in the year, if memory serves me correctly. Yep. Arizona hasn't been that good on the road this year, strangely enough. Normally Arizona was always that team you could back on the road, and now it's kind of reversed. Um, Arizona lost a disastrous game to Carolina last week. I think the Rams are trending in the right direction, and at this stage of the year, again, you talk about the motivation. Rams have a chance for the playoffs. I think Arizona. I don't want to say dream crusher because I think teams sort of bounce back from the dream crusher. Although I thought they were going to do that last week. I don't know. I don't like the way this Arizona team's heading. I see this being an early quit spot for Kyler. I'm sure he got the newest Call of Duty. He's got some other things going on besides football. Everything about this game screams that the Rams are going to just wallop them. In this event, revenge spot too, the Rams might put up 40 just because.
God. Yeah, I don't have the biggest feel for this game either. Here's my thinking. If this was last week or 2 weeks ago or even 3 weeks ago, maybe, wouldn't this be a smash spot for LA? Like you said, because they got embarrassed in week 2. And if you think about it, even if it was 2 weeks ago, if the Cardinals were coming off a situational game where they beat the Rams third stringers the first time around, and now they essentially are now going up against a healthy Rams team where even at their worst at MetLife Stadium, they beat the Jets 19-9. And I think this is like a sharp angle where it's like, let's fade the Rams because of how bad they looked. And they're just inconsistent. And it's Matt Stafford, west to east, back to west. The problem is the Rams just keep winning. They've won 8 of their last 10 so far to close out the season.
Back-to-back road spot too for Arizona, I think.
Yes, sir. And also too, like if this was 2 weeks ago and the Cards were eliminated, wouldn't this just be another smash spot for the Rams? Because it's like, well, the Cards don't have anything to play for. I mean, I guess the upsetter angle, but
I'm sorry, I have a rule. If you give up 36 points to Carolina, I can't bet on you. Every time I bet on Arizona, they fucking fail me, and I get pissed off.
My one concern is that I'm falling in love with a bad number. The Rams have won 4 of their last 5 as favorites, but against divisional opponents. They only covered 3. Arizona, like, they've covered 4 of their last 5 as road underdogs. They are coming off of a loss where they've gone 5-2 ATS this year. Under a touchdown in this rivalry, I have the Rams winning by 7 or 8. I think if this number closes at 7.5, consider betting the Cardinals.
See, that's why I don't think the number's going to change because they don't want the sharps to. I think every sharp in the world will start just hammering money on Arizona +7.
Yeah, because I like the Rams money line in a parlay. I love it as a teaser leg, and I think every sharp has just thrown the Rams in a teaser. And if they could get Arizona +7.5, they're going to middle the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And this to me seems like a game it lands on 7. I don't know what it is. Maybe 8 points, to be honest with you, if there's a late 2-point conversion. Like, this just feels like a weird type of spot, just given that it's week 17.
Although I have to say the last 4 games have all been decided by more than 10 points. These have been blowouts.
Yeah. Rams, but again, I think Rams will come out more motivated to win the division this week. The Cards had nothing to play for. They literally just had their heart broken. And if you saw the video of Trey McBride, like I've never seen a man look so defeated. Rams went. So Seattle did win. So now they have to win, and then they have to clinch the strength of victory tiebreaker over Seattle. So even more of a must-win spot for the Rams. Cardinals are out. They could play heartbreaker all they want. This is not a good spot for them, unfortunately.
God, I hope Arizona doesn't. I have maybe I should hedge because I have my Rams to make the playoffs bet, which could die. Could die on Friday. Could die tomorrow.
Well, the Rams right now are the number 3 with a 9-6 record. The only
Seattle has 6 losses too, right?
They have 7.
Oh shit! Okay, come on, let's go Rams.
Yeah, they are 9-7 right now because they just beat Chicago. So yeah, if Rams lose this, it comes down to probably week 18, which is scary to consider.
Rams
But
just need to win. Rams. Oh, they got even more motivation. We're good.
yeah,
Rams all
so
the way.
all
Smash
right,
them up.
all right, moving on. We got a battle of the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys are now traveling to Lincoln Field to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts will not be playing in this game. It looks like we are in for a Kenny Pickett start. Cooper Rush, once again, will get the nod, just like he did the last time these two teams played. Dallas is catching 7 plus 290. The over-under has dropped to 38.5. Interesting, this is a Pros Joe spot, it looks like. 58% of the tickets on Dallas, 51% of the money on Philly. Laying 7 with a backup quarterback.
See, I'm gonna have to alt spread this because you could have gotten it at 10.
You could have gotten it. So again, this is why this is a Pros Joe's game, and depending on how you react, depends on what I do. This line shot down to 7 from 10.5 because Jalen Hurts is out. No offense to Philadelphia or Eagles fans, Jalen Hurts is not worth a 4-point drop.
No.
Kenny Pickett, for what it's worth, I think he's just as serviceable for the Eagles in
He
this
wasn't
spot.
horrible in the Washington game.
No, I mean, like I said, he's serviceable. And Nick Sirianni, look, he's a head coach that has his flaws. There's no denying that. The guy's a winner, though. He made Gardner Minshew look good against Dallas the one time he played. Gardner Minshew got a starting job. He's made other backups look just fine. I don't know why Vegas and the Bucks are treating this like it's the biggest freak out in the world that Jalen Hurts won't be playing. And even more concerning, which is why like I was shocked to see that like this news didn't fucking drop the number. CeeDee Lamb is out for the year. So they just lost their number one wide receiver. Last I heard, they really don't have much of a running game still. And considering the effing last time these two teams played in week 9, I think, they beat the piss out of Cooper Rush in Jerry World. And now the Cowboys, no CeeDee Lamb, you're going to cover a touchdown. Jalen Hurts only went 14 for 20 for 200 yards. He did run 2 in and he threw for 2. I think you even exclude the rushing touchdowns. Kenny Pickett could put up that line. You could rely on Saquon here to just run the ball and carry this team. They could still win 21-10. And the Eagles defense, last I checked, they're completely healthy.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The last X factor for Dallas, that's kind of concerning me, is Micah Parsons, because he didn't play the first time around. He will be in this week. So that's my only concern is Kenny Pickett going to struggle against this D-line. But why is the public all over Dallas in this spot? I mean, I understood, like, it made a little bit more sense when Dallas was 10.5 and there were questions. And it was like, well, bet the 10.5 now.
People bet it, so they might have gotten in at better numbers earlier.
Yeah, if they said, like, look, bet Dallas at 10.5 now because this number will drop and then you can middle. But my thing, it was like, do I really want to bet 10.5 on Cooper Rush in Philly? I don't. Like, this to me is like, even with Kenny Pickett, like, I'm still taking Philly.
If it goes under a touchdown, I don't want any part of it. Over a touchdown, I think you take Dallas. Here's why. What motivation does Philly have?
The number one.
No, they're done. They lost last week. That's history. Dead.
Let me see.
What are they, 2 games back now?
Oh, yeah, they are 2 games back.
Oh,
they can clinch the division.
Like, in all honesty, what's the motivation here for this game? Jalen Hurts is out.
The division's the only thing.
Who does Washington have left? Atlanta?
Washington plays Atlanta, and then I think week 18,
Let's see who the Eagles play week 18.
I think it's another divisional game. I want to say maybe the Giants, but let me check.
Oh my God! Okay. The Eagles.
Yeah, it's the Giants.
Okay. This game is completely meaningless to Philly. Dallas is clearly the play here. This is a throwaway game for Philly. They have no fear at all. They're going to kill the dead carcass. It is the New York, New Jersey Giants, Meadowlands Giants. This is this is a throwaway game for Philly. They have no reason to win, much less no reason to put up margin. This Dallas all the way.
I mean, in theory, that makes sense. My problem is, Commanders play Dallas week 18. So my thinking, I think it's because Philly goes first. That would be my counter to it. Philly has to play first. If Washington played first and then Philly had like a 4:00 start, I would say hold off and see what happens, because if Washington loses, then you're 100% right. Philly has absolutely nothing to play for because they'll have clinched the division.
And I agree with you if they weren't playing the Giants next week, but they're playing the Giants. That's
didn't we lose on that line the one year, like in the same type of situation?
That was a weird Jacksonville Indy game, but that was a weird like flowchart game.
Okay.
Remember, that was the Indy game when they played the ghosts of the Jaguars, but that was a weird flowchart where they didn't cover in Jacksonville. If anything, the Eagles always beat the Giants.
I don't know, man. Eagles at home. I don't know if I like Cooper Rush on the road. I don't like Dallas in general on the road. I mean, this to me seems like a trappy line.
Anything, Dallas does their best work on the road.
Maybe. Let me see what their defensive numbers are.
We've been bad at home this year.
29th in rushing yards allowed. 32nd in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, but they don't even need to cover the pass. It's Kenny Pickett. Come on.
Bro, I think Saquon could beat this team. I might send I'm going to hold off for now. I may Senny bet you on this, depending on how the rest of this episode goes. I may Senny.
I don't love the number. That's the problem.
That's fair. Maybe that's my thinking. I saw this at 10.5 and now it's 7, but my thinking was that Philly should destroy them anyways, just with Saquon alone. If Kenny Pickett is serviceable, they should be able to do this. But yeah, we'll hold off. We'll see how this goes. Next up, Indy traveling to the New York Giants. Speaking of the Giants, Giants are now 7.5-point home underdogs, plus 320 on the money line. Colts are minus 405 on the money line with Anthony Richardson, over a touchdown at 7.5, over under 40.5 points. Indy, 84% of the money, 80% of the bets. Mansman, I know Anthony Richardson is your other favorite quarterback to talk about. I know you just love betting on them so much. What
I guess if Denver wins, then Indy's out, right?
Indy, let's see.
Or if the Chargers in Denver win, then Indy's out.
Chargers have to win and in. Denver's a winning in, and I think.
And then that's it, because obviously Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
And Baltimore, so that would be it. So yeah, this could be a dead game.
So this could be a dead game. And normally you'd say, well, if I like the Chargers and I like Denver, maybe you do a little parlay action on the Giants. Except it's the Giants, and we learned what happened last week. Bro, they got blown out by a rookie making his first start. Drew Lock threw 2 pick sixes. Is he going to play again? Do we know who the Giants are?
Yeah, Drew Lock is starting again.
Oh, and by the way, the Giants are at home. They suck at home. They're even worse at home. Like, I'm sorry, the Giants. Here's my handicap. Giants auto fade. There you have it. There you go. There's your expertise. You want to talk about stats? You want to talk about no. Giants auto fade. They are terrible.
They are
You should
pigeon
not
shit.
put money on the Giants. Honestly, if you put money on the Giants, you should have your account should be banned. I don't even care if the Giants win. The Giants will win by like 40 this week. I don't care. The fact that you put money on the Giants shows that you should not have a gambling account.
Okay, so there actually is a different parlay you could go through. This is how the Colts make the playoffs. They have to win out. The Dolphins also have to win out. The Dolphins play the Browns and the Jets. The Broncos have to lose out to Cincinnati and Kansas City. So there is a chance that if Denver... Oh, yeah, no, but you're right. If Denver wins and the Chargers win. So the Chargers have nothing to do with it. If Denver wins, it's a dead game.
Wow, so Denver would have to lose out. Indy and Miami would both have to win out.
Correct.
Oh. How the hell does Miami make it? I guess if Indy and Cincinnati lose at some point, I guess.
Dolphins have to win out. Denver has to lose out. The Colts have to lose one.
Oh. How does Cincinnati make it?
Oh, boy. Give me a second.
I thought if Cincinnati won out, they were in.
Bengals have to win out. The Broncos have to lose out. The Colts and Dolphins each have to lose one.
Wow. I actually like Denver even more now. Like, that's crazy. Basically, they need Miami to lose to... Other than, again, Aaron Rodgers could. Indy, God, who the hell does Indy play next week?
Indy plays... I could tell you exactly who it is. They play the Jags in Week 18.
In Jacksonville?
In Jacksonville.
Oh, fuck. Well, maybe. Oh, my God. I kind of like Denver even more now. But, yeah, anyway, this game, your handicap, your brilliant strategy, auto fade Giants rest of the year.
So Denver, Indy might be the parlay, if anything. But, yeah, don't. If you want to talk yourself into betting the Giants because of what we just talked about, don't. Colts, they're 1-4 straight up in ATS against the NFC in their last 5. Non-conference road favorites for the AFC. They are 12-6 ATS this year in a spot where a tough 7-8 Colts team, and it's the literal shittiest team in the NFL. Michael Penix Jr. did fuck all, and they beat Drew Lock because he gave them the game.
By like 20,
and
24.
Fucked us up in doubles for Drew, which, by the way, special distinguished DeGents announcement, we have officially retired doubles for Drew. That was the game that broke us. That is the game.
The spirit was willing, but the flesh was weak.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, not much else to really say.
If we ever play doubles for Drew again, it will be modified, but it won't really be doubles for Drew. It'll be like drinking for Drew.
Drinking for Drew, maybe. That's another. Not this game, though. Colts minus 7.5 is fine. The Giants can't stop Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson. They're going to come up.
One last point about doubles for Drew to give you guys an idea. We literally did a double because of the pick 6. And then immediately, once we had taken time to catch up, like literally 5 shots in, he threw yet another pick 6, which means we had another 2 shots to do.
Oh, and then he threw the touchdown beforehand early in the game.
So that was literally like 7. We were like 7 in 3 hours. And there was a time when we could do that, but that time has passed.
Getting old. But yeah, no, Colts are coming off a huge blowout win against the Titans. So I could understand normally that under normal circumstances you would fade the Colts because they came off the blowout win. But the Giants are on auto fade the rest of the year. And again, like if you're that worried, just tease the Colts down.
Yeah, but I would.
All right, I'm going to take my restroom break, but I'll introduce the next game. And unfortunately, it's a bad one, so good luck, God bless. Feel free to rant, rage. If you got to take your break, that's fine. Raiders, Saints. Raiders laying 1.5 on the road. Non-conference road favorite for the Raiders, minus 122. Saints, home underdog, plus 104, plus 105. Over-under is 37.5. I shall return. My handicap will be very quick, but go.
Okay. This is my Dumbo dog of the week. Give me the New Orleans Saints plus 1.5. The Raiders literally just won a game after losing like 10 straight. They are now a road favorite. The Vegas Raiders should not be a road favorite in any game ever. The Saints just got shut out by Green Bay. Green Bay is a legitimate football team. Other than that, though, the Saints have been competitive under Coach Rizzi. This Saints team, and I know it's the Rattle Man, Spencer Rattler. I know the Saints are not good at football either. They're at home. There is no reason why they should be a home underdog to a Raiders team that literally just won their first game in 2 months. The Raiders are bad. I love Aiden O'Connell. But this Raiders team should not be a road favorite in any game ever. I don't care. Give me the New Orleans Saints, my dog of the week. It's a shit game, but I'm rolling with it. Give me the Saints. And if anything, you expect the Vegas letdown because they finally won a game after a long time. Always love to fade those teams coming after the win. I just think New Orleans is a better team overall. The Raiders are one of my biggest disappointments of the year. I really thought they were going to be competitive. I thought they were going to be 500, maybe even had a chance to do what Denver did. So I was very disappointed in them. Maybe my disappointment is showing because they failed me big time. But, yeah, this Raiders team's dreadful. There's no reason they should be a road favorite. All right, so I guess we're going to – Big Buck should be coming back soon. As for the over-under for this game, I'll give the over. Oh, Big Bucks is back.
You're back. No, go ahead.
Under play anyway, though. I will say two bad teams. I expect the game to be pretty close. It is a dome, so I guess I would lean to the over here. But no great shakes. I don't have a lot of good over-under feels at this stage of the year because you never really know what effort you're going to get. Like we saw, even for the Saturday games, like Houston get practically shut out. So this was my dog of the week, by the way. New Orleans.
No.
Why are the Raiders? Tell me why the Raiders are a road favorite in any game ever. Go.
Oh God. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you for the life of me why. Ready? Here's my handicap. Hold on. Here we go. Here's my handicap.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca.
Yeah, why are the Raiders a non-conference road favorite? How are they a favorite in general? How did this team even beat Baltimore? 1-7 on the road. Wow. Great job, Vegas. You beat Mac Jones. You did your fucking job. You beat a backup NFL quarterback. And you blew the tank job for Shedeur Sanders. Aiden O'Connell is now your future Raiders quarterback, you fucking losers.
They can still get Cam Ward. No, I'm kicking myself because this should have been my handicap last week when I did my, play it like a preseason game. I should have just thought, wait a minute, the Jags are a road favorite. Why are the Jags a road favorite in any game ever? That should have been my handicap. I was 1 week too late. I'm going to be right this week.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess we're going to go heads up on this one. I'm not betting. I can't bet on Spencer Rattler, bro. He's just so bad. Listen, it's Aiden O'Connell. That's why I'm picking the Raiders.
I told you he was better.
Yeah, well, I don't know about Gardner Minshew, but he's way better than fucking Desmond Ritter. I mean, if it was Desmond Ritter, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, give it to Spencer, give the kid a shot. But
I can't fault you. I just can't get around like why the Raiders literally every sharp. Although this is the problem. Every sharp. Oh, the Raiders. There's no way they're gonna win. There's no way they're gonna blow the tank. Shador Sanders will be a Raider. Like 1 week ago, they were the lock for the number one. Now it's like, oh yeah, let's back them as road favorites. Like, nah, I'm good. Thank you.
This is not about backing them as a road favorite. This is simply about them beating Spencer Rattler to me, and nothing else. Like I'm
cautious. I think a lot of people are overreacting from the fact that they lost to Green Bay, who is a playoff team.
Okay, hold on.
People are like, oh yeah, dark horse.
Oh no. You know what? That's fine. Let me pull up some other game stats for you where he played. Here we go. Against the Commanders, where he came in for, I think, the second half. 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay. How about when he played the Chargers? 156 passing yards. That's it. Okay. How about Thursday night against the Broncos? 172 passing yards. That's it.
I'm hearing your stats against literally Commanders, playoff team. Denver, probably a playoff team. Chargers, playoff team. Like, what's the comp to the Raiders that he's played? Nobody. You're mentioning playoff teams. That's what I'm saying. I think people are over it. Oh, he sucks. You played Green Bay. All I've heard, Green Bay is the dark horse. Green Bay is great. They played Green Bay on the road. He was supposed to get shut out.
No, I wouldn't say shut. Listen, if Spencer Rattler put up a touchdown or like a drive past the 50-yard mark, I'd say, sure, we could back him. Because I agree with you. The Raiders should not be a road favorite. This game should be a straight-up pick 'em. Take a team, that's same odds, just pick a side. But Vegas knows that. They know they could make money off one. Like, this, to me, is the Donko dog of the week. Like, this is a Donko play because it's like, oh, well, the Raiders shouldn't be a favorite. We're going to back Spencer Rattler. No offense, Spencer Rattler is dog shit, too. Aiden O'Connell is at least you're telling me in one breath Aiden O'Connell is a competent quarterback. But on the other hand, you're going to say they're going to lose to the Saints, who have a quarterback that can't produce any.
Well, this is a big letdown spot for Vegas. They just won their first game in 3 months.
One touchdown in his last 4 starts.
Playoff teams, buddy. Playoff teams.
1 touchdown in 4 starts.
I'm not saying I need him to be great. I just think the Saints are a better team overall.
I disagree. I think the Saints are worse. I really think the Saints are worse.
I have a feeling games like this, literally fucking Cincinnati, Denver, and Saints Raiders are going to be deciding the case. Or it's kind of depressing.
God, that means we're going to have to watch. Or I'm definitely watching the Broncos, but God, I have to watch Saints Raiders, Dallas, Philly. Like, why? I mean, this is going to be an ugly week, but that's what we live for. All right. Oh boy, hang on. I got to set it up. That's my bad. All right, Mansman, it's your time, buddy.
Oh no.
Oh really? Yeah.
I don't have any desire to talk about this game.
None? You don't want to talk about your Buffalo Bills?
Oh, really?
Your AFC East winning Buffalo Bills? 9.5-point favorites at home, minus 520. They're hosting the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, who are 4-1 dogs. Jets are plus 9.5 again. Over under.
This pisses me off because Rodgers is going to get his 500 touchdown in this game.
Go ahead. No, I mean, come on, it's your team.
I have nothing good to say about this game.
That's fine. Yeah, actually, that's not fair.
Here's what I'd say. I won't cop out. Here's what I'm going to say. Normally, this is where the Bills abuse the Jets. They play a close game in New York, and then the Jets come in late in the season with nothing to play for, and the Bills absolutely steamroll the shit out of the Jets. Remember last year they played the Jets week 16 and completely embarrassed them? That was the game Sauce Gardner basically quit on the field. And what was it? Clemens was fighting with Deion Dawkins as they were going to the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
This just feels different. Like, to me, Josh Allen, not 100%. The Bills have literally nothing to. I mean, I guess the only question is, do they go and fight to the death to try and get the 2 seed? Because technically, if Baltimore wins out and the Bills lose out, Bills will be the 3 seed. So maybe
is that really the case?
Yeah, because Baltimore has the tiebreaker, and the Bills have 3 losses. Ravens have 5. So, no, maybe I'm wrong about that.
No, Ravens have 5. The Bills would have 5.
Yeah, so they
and Ravens would have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, so they haven't clinched the 2 seed. So it's I don't know. I feel like the Bills are going to find a way to win somehow, because they found a way to win last week somehow. So I do think they're going to get the job done. You play 9.5 at your own peril. I don't know if the Bills are going to cover this number. I just don't see them having a lot of incentive to win this game big. And I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he's going for 500. This Bills defense has been terrible. God, this just feels like a spot where it's the 500th for Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Before I go, I forgot to give this out. My under of the week was the last game. Raiders Saints under 37.5. That to me is like, if you want to get away from the teams, just play the under. I mean, like I said, Spencer Rattler, 1 touchdown in 4 games. In all of his games, 2. In 6 games, he's had 2 touchdowns. New Orleans has no offense. They can't score. Raiders, there's no way they get 24, let alone 30. So 30-7 is like worst case scenario. This is a dead under game. Going on back to the Jets and the Bills. Yikes. So the Bills are 17-5-1 against division opponents. Apparently with Josh Allen. 9-12-1 ATS. The Bills have won 11 straight, but they haven't covered 3 in a row against division opponents. This is, I was going to say this is playing the number, but this really at this point, at 9.5, there's no playing a number. Aaron Rodgers couldn't put up 10 against the Rams.
Well, that's fair.
Aaron Rodgers couldn't put up 10 against Denver.
That's the question. Do the Jets, is this just a give-up game?
Did he put up 10 against the Bills the first time?
Wasn't great. Not really.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers on the road to Buffalo.
Jets haven't been good in Buffalo.
What are we doing? Why are there sharps? Like, my problem with the sharps in this angle, they're basically saying Jets plus 10 and up. You should parlay Chiefs and then the Jets. Because if the Chiefs win, the Bills have nothing to play for. No offense, the Bills don't have to play hard in this game. They'll still beat the Jets.
See, the only thing that would scare me about what the sharps saying, and there's a part of me that thinks Josh Allen's banged up. Are they really going to push it? But then again, I forget that, like, the Bills hate the Jets. Like, Deion Dawkins hates the Jets. Like, they hate the Jets. They always kill the Jets in this spot. So, I definitely, I would not play the Jets. If you were even inclined to do it, not under 10, I would.
No. And my thinking, too, is that Josh Allen, like, last week I thought would be the MVP secure game, and he didn't really do great. This is the game I think he could do it. Oh, well, his hands were broken. Because, I mean, the narratives have already leaked out. Both his hands were injured. He's not playing great. But he's still the MVP. He's doing all these things. And again, the other narrative is Aaron Rodgers. Well, look at Devontae. He'll get his 500th. This could be the game Aaron Rodgers gets nothing. And Josh just goes Superman and just, like, goes fucking yard on this Jets defense, who is pissed. I don't know. I don't know if I end up truly betting this. This is the week. It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I want to play Bills first half because they're a second half team. I don't think McDermott Stan would find a way to wreck this game either. And picking the Jets is like losing money. So
yeah, I feel like the Bills have to win this game because I really don't think they want to play anybody Week 18.
You know,
on the road in New England, like
you know what? Actually, do I really want to? Actually, no, I'm not. I was going to change my under of the week. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick to New Orleans
anything,
Raiders.
just an over game. Like,
really?
I could see, because again, remember, I've seen a lot of times the Jets quit in this spot at Buffalo, and maybe this is the rebound. Like, this could be the Josh Allen cementing his case for MVP. This could be it. I gotta say, I don't get the Lamar Jackson MVP talk after the Houston game. Like, I get he had like a good run or two, but that felt like more of a Derrick Henry game to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, the fact it was like before that, it was minus 500. And then after the Houston game, it's like, oh my God, wow, Lamar Jackson's like the best in the world. Like, I thought he played well, but the game was over by halftime. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, to me, I think the Lamar talk is just from he's playing better against shitter teams, and the Josh Allen thing last week kind of hurt. Whereas I think if Josh Allen went yard, it would be a dead conversation.
I just think to be honest,
I think it's clickbait.
And this is going to sound homerish, but two things. Number one, I think if you don't watch a lot of Bills football, this Bills football team is a below 500 team without Josh Allen. Like, they are terrible. Yeah. Their defense sucks. Their offense, their receiving core is mediocre at best. Like, Mac Hollins is literally like our fucking number 2 receiver. Come on. But number 2, I just think there's people in the media, they just don't like Josh Allen. And even when Josh was getting the MVP talk, it was like, well, actually Lamar Jackson's better. Like, bro, they don't want him to win the award. They're never going to want him to win it was Joe Burrow. It was Lamar Jackson. I mean, they're just like they're just trying to find reasons not to give it to him.
I'll leave it at that. I got nothing to add to it. My only thing with under 46.5, it would have hit in 5 of the last 6 home games against the Jets. And this, to me, like in my predicting, it's going to be a more boring game than we anticipate. But Bills defense, I think it's a bounce back, where I just think they shut down Rodgers. Jets don't even get 9. Bills win by like 30, but it'll be like
you're giving the defense a lot of credit. I don't
That's
know,
I mean, I get it. That's fair.
Feels like the 500th is coming, and honestly, you should bet the Davante Adams touchdown, because there was a story today. Davante on catching the 500 touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers. It would be dope. Like, come on, they're literally going to Davante Adams in the red zone. Like,
maybe I'll look into it.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Adams touchdown, way to go if you like a prop in this game.
Maybe Bills to win and then Davante touchdown.
I just thought the same thing.
There you go. Moving on, we got another AFC South pick'em. It's the Titans catching a 1.5 on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Minus 112 for them, minus 104 for the Titans. The over-under is 39.5 points. Titans are getting 62% of the money, 51% of the bets, despite the fact they have only covered 2 games all season. Pretty sure they've only won 2 games all season as well. No, they've won 3, but they've only covered 2. Wow.
Yeah, who you got? Who you got for this one and why? I'm curious.
AFC divisional road underdogs are 12-16-1 ATS, 6-23 straight up. Mac Jones is shit. Rudolph is shit. This game is shit. I'm taking the Jags as a home team because fuck it. Take the points. Why not? Whatever. Shoot them. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck to do with this game.
Yeah, Jacksonville's actually won four out of the last 5 these teams have played.
Yeah, but I mean, but this is so unprecedented. Like career backups. I want nothing to do with this game. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate this game. It's so bad. I can't back the Titans. It's like every time I back the Titans, I lose money. And I can't do it. I'm not betting this.
I was going to say, what is this? Fool me like 15th time? Like, how many times have you bet the fucking...
Fool me again, and I'll just give you my wallet because, I work for fucking FanDuel now, apparently, if I just keep betting the Titans, giving them my money. So, no.
Do you know you actually picked the Titans in the contest, bro? What were you doing?
Did I really?
Yeah. Did you, do this drunk?
No, I did it really early. I literally did this just to get it in. And then I was like, let me do the handicaps after Christmas. Probably too, my dumbass probably thought I could just edit the picks afterwards, but
you thought the same thing, like 2 bad teams take the points. That could have been. I mean, I can't give you any shit because this game is literally
might as well check my other picks to make sure. Okay, my other picks are accurate.
I did pick Jacksonville, and here's the stud. Now, Jacksonville has won 4 of the last 5, strangely enough. But my handicap was really even more simple. It's just a matter of when you look at these 2 teams, the Jacksonville loss last week really hurt me. I really thought that Jacksonville was going to beat the Raiders. I listened to the Sharps. That's what happened. But in terms of this game, I just feel like Jacksonville has been playing better than Tennessee has. Tennessee has not been playing well, and I have no faith in Tennessee to do anything. They're one of the worst teams in football. They're really no better than Jacksonville. I think we need to agree with that. And, I mean, I would take Doug Peterson as the coach over Callahan. So,
oh God, Callahu, Mr.
Yeah, I guess I have no choice. I have to take Jacksonville here. It's the only way forward.
Shit, I gotta plug this in real quick, but yeah, I mean, Calla, I'm fired at the end of this season. Calla, I should be demoted.
You really could make the case that he should be.
I mean, the guy's a loser. Can't fucking cut it in this league. That's my opinion. I mean, what have you seen all season? All right, I'm plugged in now. What have you seen all season from Callahan that shows he's an NFL coach? Anything.
Well, there was that one game against Houston. Oh, that's right. Houston sucks. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. I got nothing there. Yeah, Jacksonville.
Only the Bills could find a way to lose to fucking Houston.
Well, that was back when everybody was healthy.
Literally, they're the only fucking playoff team that has lost to Houston all year.
I mean, that was a weird spot. If you you have to remember that it wasn't a blowout loss like Baltimore. It was close game, and Bills just choked.
Another McDermott special.
All right, next up, Carolina catching 8.5 on the road. Another divisional road game, plus 350 on the money line, going to Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, who's laying 8.5, minus 450 on the money line for them. The over-under is 47.5 points. I got under in the last game, by the way, at 39.5. I'm not sold on either team scoring, truth be told, but who the fuck knows. Tampa is getting 56% of the money. Carolina getting 59% of the bets, though. Pros Joe's spot. Mansman, why is Baker getting 8.5?
I think I'm trying to remember. I think it was just because I had looked to Tampa as well. And I'm trying to remember why. I think it just looked like a bounce back spot. Like Tampa lost a crucial game last week to Dallas, playing a divisional team, coming off a win. Carolina on the road in Tampa. It just felt like a spot where Tampa could feast a little. I just have a feeling this could be a blowout. This could be like the remember the Dream Crusher?
Yeah.
Like, this feels like the Dream Crusher spot where Tampa basically their season just got ruined, and this is their bounce back spot. So that's why. But the points, 8.5's a lot. The contest was 7.5. I think even that was a little high, but I couldn't get to Carolina. I'm in no rush to bet Tampa minus 8.5. I have a feeling about Tampa. I don't know. It does feel high, though. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
This is going to be my fade of the week. I am fading the Bucks as an 8.5 point home favorite. Why is Baker Mayfield laying 8.5 against anybody in the NFL? I don't care that he's a favorite. Like, I'll start by saying I do think Tampa will win. And this is actually, I'm playing the number in the spot and nothing else. Because I think in the Week 17 spot, Tampa's in a must-win situation just to keep playoff hopes alive. Carolina's all but eliminated, but as I kicked it off earlier in the episode, Carolina has no fucking issues playing Heartbreaker and ruining it for the other team. They just did it last week to Arizona, and I think that is my problem. I think Carolina just had their showing of like who they are as a team at this point. They are decimated on defense. Josie Jewell, J.C. Horn, I think, are going to be out. Jadeveon Clowney, I think, is also hurt. Tampa has not fared well against Carolina. I don't know what it is with Baker Mayfield and playing Carolina. Really, in general, Tampa Bay against their own division is a horrible spot. 3-7 ATS at home against division opponents in their last 10. Baker Mayfield 0-4 ATS at home against division opponents as a Tampa Bay Buck. They literally lost to a backup quarterback last week in prime time. Now they're at home against a divisional opponent who is also arguably a backup quarterback, who they seem to win and beat, but fail to cover. Last year in this spot, it was 9-0. And we were kicking ourselves, like, why did I bet Tampa? Like, I always told myself, like, I can't do this again because Tampa just, like, this is the kind of shit they pull.
The crazy thing is 9-0 would have covered this.
I know, but, like, doesn't it make you want to kick yourself? Like, wow, I bet them and they won by 3 field goals.
Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. I agree with you. I forgot the history. Tampa always seems to struggle against them. For some reason, I thought at home they did better. But looking back on it now, I actually think you have the right side of it.
Yeah, and the other 2 games that Baker played, one went to overtime. They won by 3. The first time they played, they won by 3. So why are we laying 8.5? And I guess you could fade the team coming off of a big win against a fraud team like Arizona, like in the spot for Carolina. I just don't. Like, I think for weeks now, they really had nothing to play for, but they still keep having these strong performances. I don't know why they would take their foot off the pedal now. Like, if anything, I think if I'm Carolina, fuck it, take Tampa with us. Let's beat them too. And, like, ruin their, like, let's show that we're actually a serious team going into next year. Like, that's the motivation I could see. Tampa, I think, is in desperation mode, and a desperate Baker tends to make mistakes. So I'm staying away. I love Carolina over a touchdown plus 8.5.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are correct. I agree with you.
Yep. What do you got on the over under in this spot for 47? Did I say 48.5 or are we 47.5 now?
I guess I got to go under considering the struggles Tampa Bay has. Baker doesn't always have his best games against Carolina. I know I think it was a 30-24 game that happened, but you mentioned the 9-0. There's a 21-18 game in there. I
Yeah.
don't know. I expected Tampa to get the bounce back, but maybe this is just one of those funky, weird division spots where Tampa, maybe ekes out a 3-point win. I don't know. I'm a lot more bullish to the under now based on the previous results.
Yeah, I'm on the under as well. I think it'll be a closer one than we anticipate, but this to me is about like I don't know. Carolina's defense being injured is a concern. And I think for Carolina to succeed, they're going to have to score, and Tampa's defense is questionable. So, but I think the number's a little high. This to me has like 21-18, like you said, 21-20, 24-21 written all over it, where it just like quietly stays. It quietly gets close, but stays under. Sort of like the Chiefs Steelers game where like it was looking crazy in the first half and then just sort of slowed down later. But all right, we are officially into the 4:00 slate on Sunday. This is game one. It's Miami laying 6.5 on the road, -310, up against the Cleveland Browns, who are plus 250 home underdog, plus 6.5. Over unders 37.5 points. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is getting the start once again. Miami's 81% of the money, 73% of the bets. Ready? Here's this great handicap I have for you, Mansman.
Yep.
Is DTR starting?
Yep.
Bet Miami. Now, if Jameis ends up finding his way in, consider betting Cleveland. Yep. But two things to keep in mind. This is a 50-degree weather game in Cleveland. I did a weather lookup because Tua in the cold weather, I was like,
yep.
Maybe. No cold weather. It will be raining the whole time, though. So this is going to be a shit game. But I don't know. I can't bet on DTR. I can't get my head around that. Miami off of a win is usually terrible to bet on, too. 2-4 ATS. That was the big reason I heard with some of the sharps, is that it's Cleveland off of a win. They're going on the road, shit weather. But Miami, they're 6-2 straight up as road favorites. They've covered 4 straight. If you're that concerned, tease it down in a parlay. Get it down to half a point. Against DTR, I mean, that leg is a lock and a teaser. You could just risk it with the other two. That would be a leg you set and forget. Browns are dead man walking. They're just literally the breaking news today. Mansman, did you hear about the breaking news of the Cleveland Browns?
No, I didn't.
They restructured Deshaun Watson's contract.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And they extended him another year. No new money. No new money. They just added an extra year. And they spread it out so they could have some salary cap space.
Oh, well. I guess that was nice that he was willing to do that.
Well, what that tells me is that Cleveland is like committed, which means that this year they're moving on from Jameis, which is the wrong thing. I mean, not that Jameis is the right move, but come on, we've had Jameis do a better showing, we've had Joe Flacco have a better showing. When are the Browns going to get that Deshaun is just not a good quarterback anymore and like they're screwed? This just tells me they're ready to move
they've
on.
They've invested too much money, and sometimes people don't. Like, you just got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Nope, they're gonna watch it burn, and that's fine. Miami here all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 straight failed covers, 14 straight losses against the AFC East. I have no desire to back Miami on the road in December in Cleveland, but what else are you going to do? DTR is if Bryce Young was a backup XFL quarterback, like DTR, let's be honest, DTR is getting cut from the XFL. Like he's garbage. He's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how this guy's even on a team. Like, really? This is the best you got? You could have had Sam Darnold. and you didn't. You
They
could have
kept
Joe
it.
Flacco, and you didn't. Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. Like, there are so many bad backups, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson's probably the worst. He's probably the worst quarterback in football right now.
You can make the case. I mean, I'm trying to think of worse backups.
Spencer Rattler or Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
Give me Rattler.
Yeah.
Rattler. Here's why. Rattler at least finds a way to win at home. Doesn't make sense. Except, when he's a Raider because the Raiders suck. But
Timmy Boyle, or DTR?
Tim Boyle.
I mean, like,
Drew Lock or DTR?
Oh, Drew Lock. 100%. Not even a question. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the worst backup quarterbacks, and it's like DTR is like miles away.
Sam Howell.
Oh yeah, 100% Sam Howell. Bro, Deshaun Watson or DTR?
DTR.
Well, to be fair, Watson, he has like
DTR's cheaper.
he has like a $280 million.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think we've hammered
enough with that fucking shit, dude.
All right, here's a better 4:00 game. The only other one on TV. The Green Bay Packers going up against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are now the home favorite. They're now -1.5, -112. Packers -104 and basically a pick 'em. They're now +1.5 at -120 odds. The over/under is 48.5. Looks like Minnesota is the side here on the bets at 52%, but the money coming in on Green Bay.
All those little Sharpies going to.
Yeah. Mansman. NFC North battle. This has a lot of implications here. So I'll lay it out for you real quick. It is kind of straightforward. It kind of isn't. Both teams have clinched, but in order for a miracle situation to happen, obviously Detroit would have to lose to go to 13-3. Vikings win, they get the number one. They potentially get the number one seed. Green Bay wins, they have to essentially win out to have a chance, but both teams have already clinched. So this is essentially going to be a battle for higher seeding and nothing else. Potentially the division.
Okay, can I be a conspiracy theorist?
You may
have to win this game.
They have to win this game.
If the Vikings win this game, you basically have a battle for the 1 seed between the Lions and Vikings week 18. So
is that it?
The NFL, they need to put a game on for the playoffs next week in their Sunday Night Football spot. And this is the game to do it. Because otherwise, I don't know if they're going to have another game to really be able to do it.
They could theoretically have something for the AFC North, I guess, but...
No, I mean, the division might be... Division probably going to be over. Like, the conspiracy theorist says the Vikings have to win. And the betting me says the Vikings are going to be the winners. Green Bay, I think it's now 4 straight they failed to cover against the North. And I just think, again, it comes down to the Vikings being the better team. I haven't been sold on Green Bay all year. Everyone's talking about the Green Bay dark horse. And why? Because you shut out the hapless Saints with their third-string quarterback at home in primetime. Now, I know Green Bay, very good in December. I've heard it all before. I get it. I think the Vikings are the better team. Maybe it's wishful thinking because I want to see Lions-Vikings Sunday Night Football next week. I don't know. I just think the Vikings find a way to get it done. I think they've been the better team all year. I don't think Green Bay is as good as Minnesota. I think Minnesota finds a way to get it done at home. Give me the Vikes.
Okay.
But I can't fault anyone betting Green Bay. I can see why.
I have a bit of a different conspiracy theory. Except it's not really conspiracy theory. Spoiler alert, this was going to be my best bet. The line flipped, though. And I already gave out my dog of the week, so wasn't sure how to make this a best bet, so I went to the points. This is going to be my over of the week. I'm going over 48.5 points in this game. Here's why. Green Bay on the road, easy money in terms of points. I think if you had bet their team total, it would have hit like 6 of the 7. They've scored at least 24 points in every road game all year. They've hit the 30 mark in 4 of those 7. The Vikings at home, they've scored a minimum of 21 all year. They actually average 28 to 29 at home per game. And you look at the over-under record, the Vikings at home are like actually an under team. But looking at their class of opponents is why I'm actually like going with the over. Detroit and Houston were the first 2 toughest teams that they had. They're also the only 2 teams that are going into the playoffs this year. Kyler Murray, he put up 22 though. Kirk Thuggins managed to put up 21 against the Vikings. And the last home game was Caleb Williams and the Bears. They're trash. Green Bay honestly might become their second toughest opponent they've had at home all year. And it's December. They're heating up at the right time. And you're right. They've beaten up tomato cans for teams. It was the Saints and the Seahawks. I'm confident in betting on Jordan Love here because last game, despite the fact he threw 3 interceptions at home, they almost came back and beat him. Now, really what happened was they were down 6, and then Minnesota kicked the 3, got out of hand. Green Bay scored a late touchdown to make it look close. I don't know if that happens again this time around because I just think that the Vikings, if you remember, we said they rested on their laurels. They kind of just coasted in the second half. Wasn't until it got dangerously close they were like, all right, we'll kick the 3, make it impossible. But you can't do that again this time with Green Bay, especially with that Monday night game. It was short notice. For me, it's not about the shutout. It was about that the Saints couldn't do a thing, and the Packers managed to rest their starters in the 4th. So, yeah, they have the Monday night game. Yeah, there's rest advantage. But really, they put in minimal effort. And now they can go into Minnesota extra motivated with a little bit more rest. They're coming off feeling good because they dominated a bad team. And this spot last year, this exact spot in Week 17, the Packers went into Minnesota. They beat Nick Mullins. And Sam Darnold is a better quarterback, but they beat him 33-10. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout, but I do think Green Bay can go in and beat the Vikings.
The one real question is going to be, can Jordan Love do it himself?
I think in this spot he can.
Because the Vikings have a good rush defense. So it's not, I don't think you're going to just, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong about this before. I don't see it as being just Josh Jacobs completely running over the Vikings.
No, this is going to have to be another Jordan Love 4-touchdown game. I'm going to be very honest. He has to air it out. But he did it the last time against Minnesota. And Josh Jacobs got shut down. I think that's part of why they lost. I just think that when Josh Jacobs, he slightly got hurt. Nope, get on the bench. We need you next week for Minnesota. I would just
be careful because if you remember that game, it was 28-0 Vikings. Remember Green Bay had that really late comeback to make it close?
Was it? I'm pretty sure it was closer than that.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure the Vikings were up huge. Remember we had bet Green Bay, and literally the game was over at halftime, and then Green Bay started to come back.
Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because I'm pretty sure, what was it, week 9 or week 8? That was 23. Come on. What the fuck? Come on. I know it.
Yeah, 28-0 heading into the 28-7 heading into halftime.
Oh, okay.
Going into the 4th quarter, 21 points.
So maybe you should play Vikings first half if you feel that confident, because this to me feels like a game where Vikings could be strong in the first half, but if they try to coast again, I could see Green Bay getting the edge this time around. So, yeah, I've been wrong too. This is the game that tells me a lot about Minnesota. To me, I think they played a lot of tomato cans too. I think they struggled a lot against a lot of tomato cans. They barely beat Seattle 27-24. They barely beat the Jets in London. They just seem to be a team that's coasting and winning. And the Green Bay Packers, I think, are
we're going to see a Sam Darnold's for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's my major question. Is Sam Darnold the real deal? I still don't know.
If the Bills lose, I want the Vikings to win the Super Bowl because I just think it'd be so funny listening to the Jets fans having them watch Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. That would just be too funny.
I mean, I'm trying to think if we got a Sam Darnold and then in the AFC. I mean, who would be the worst case scenario for Jets fans? Maybe Bo Nix. That would be a shit show.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know who it would be for the Jets.
Honestly, I would want a Bills Vikings Super Bowl. That would be like what nobody asked for.
Oh no, maybe Vikings Chargers because they could add Harbaugh. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws now.
Yeah, no, I think we're done. Yeah, over of the week, over 48.5 here. Sunday Night Football, Atlanta Falcons traveling against the Washington Commies, a.k.a. the Commanders, a.k.a. the franchise, a.k.a. the football team, a.k.a. the Redskins. They are 4.5-point favorites. They are minus 205 on the money line, plus 172 for the Falcons. Over-under is 46.5. Sunday Night Football, Washington, 77% of the money, 72% of the tickets. Mansman, what again, this is another fishy line. Why are the Commanders only getting 4.5 points? This to me, this is Chewbacca once again.
Yeah, because I think people think that Atlanta is better than they are. I guess you could say maybe this would be what, a 3.5 to 3 on a neutral.
On a neutral, taking away home field 5.5.
No, because Washington would lose points because they're presumably getting points for being at home.
Oh,
so it'd actually be less. It'd probably be 3.5. I don't think Washington has the best home field. Either way, I mean
hang on.
Washington Redskins, go f yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this line makes absolutely no sense to me, really at all. Atlanta, wow, they beat the Giants. Yay. I didn't see anything from Penix, at least not yet, to really think. Again, I think he was serviceable. Might he have done a couple things better than Kirk Cousins? Maybe. Is it going to be enough to make me think that he's going to perform and cover this line? No, I don't. Oh, and by the way, on DK, the line's down to Washington 3.5. So
you're fucking with me. Stop. No.
3.5 minus 112.
Oh my god, am I really going to do this?
I mean,
you know what?
Under 4 looks golden.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Best bet of the week. Give me the Commanders.
I don't know if I have a best bet yet. I might do the same thing. Did I do my best bet yet?
You've not. I was gonna wait for the next game, but 3.5. Okay.
All right, I'll wait for the next game. Because that's another one that I'm just like lost.
Yeah, I was gonna do it for the next. I'm doing it here. I'm changing it. Commies minus 3.5. Atlanta did absolutely piss all on offense, except for maybe Bijan. Sunday Night Football favorites. That's the key. I think they win. The Falcons are coming off a bullshit Super Bowl game against the worst team in the NFL. The Commies, they have all to play for in the playoffs, where I don't even think they. Let me double check. I don't even think they've clinched playoffs yet. They're in the 7 seed. So they really cannot afford to lose this game. Except, I mean, I'm trying to see who's Seattle and Tampa. But yeah, I can't see a side where Atlanta is the right side. I mean, let's just ignore if you're betting Atlanta, let's just ignore that. The Commies are 6-2 ATS at home. Or how about the Falcons have failed to cover 4 straight road games? Albeit all with Kirko, but why are we acting like Michael Penix is the new Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Atlanta? I mean, because he's left-handed and his last name rhymes with a phallic object. Like, a former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, Michael Vick. Is that the comparison we're going to make? I'm not there yet. I haven't seen anything from Penix to show that. Jaden Daniels, I think he's making case for Rookie of the Year. This could be the game that seals it. Sunday Night Football, get the win, especially if Philly loses. Maybe this is a game I may hammer the 3.5 now, but I may wait. Because if Philly loses and this number keeps going down, I may just hammer it even more. This could be Washington all the way. And
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I got nothing else there. All right. Anything else you want to add on to, or you good?
Shit. No. Shit.
What?
Oh shit. No, never mind. We can move on.
All right. I got over 46.5 in this game as well. I think you're going to need it. Maybe this is a Penix gets a touchdown. They run into, I could see 20 for Atlanta at most, but Washington's defense is still inconsistent. That's kind of the major key with this one. And I think Jaden Daniels will have his way with this fraud Falcons defense, who literally had 2 pick sixes last week. It wasn't that long ago that the Falcons defense literally tripped over their own feet against Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last game, Monday Night Football. The Detroit Lions, with everything on the line for the number 1 seed, laying 3.5, minus 178. Over under is 50.5 points now. They're going to San Francisco, catching only 3.5, plus 146 on the money line. 91% of the bets and the money on Detroit. Mansman, I'm going to go back to week 15 for you and do a little bit of a rewind. Week 15, the San Francisco 49ers were a 3-point favorite against the Rams. They lost. Week 16, they were a pick 'em against Miami. Week 14, they were a 3.5-point favorite against Chicago. They won and covered. 13, so now we're going back 5 weeks. They were a 5.5-point road underdog to Buffalo. And now they're catching only 3.5. So one of 2 things is possible. Either San Francisco is better than we think, or Vegas has not been watching 49ers games whatsoever. Why is this only 3.5? With everything on the line for Dan Campbell and this Lions team?
Because didn't you hear the Sharps? Detroit has all of these injuries that make them. I mean, I don't know. They seem to do fine last week, despite all the injuries. And what is San Francisco playing for again?
Fuck all. They got eliminated.
Now, I will say 14 straight wins for the Niners against the Lions. Well, that streak's coming to an end.
It has to.
I was looking at it because I wanted to make sure, with a Minnesota loss, that Detroit wouldn't just quit and have nothing to play for. But it looks like either way, maybe Detroit's going to have something to play for. This is my best bet. Detroit has everything to play for. 14 straight losses. I think this is the time it ends. I really don't see San Francisco surviving. They have nothing to play for. They've been getting murked the past multiple weeks. Garendo's probably not going to play again. He was limited in practice. Even if he does,
so what?
He's going to be gimpy. There's nothing really to like about this Niners team. The Niners just need the season to end.
Yeah. Do you want to bet against Dan Campbell and be a clown? Be my guest. I'm not going to do it.
Perfect on the road, by the way. 7-0 on the road.
Yeah, he said that they're starting. Dan Campbell said everyone's starting week 17. I'm not doubting him. I don't think this is a ploy. I take it 100% seriously when he says that. San Francisco, unfortunately, is an auto fade the rest of the year. They have lost and failed to cover 5 of their last 6. This is not a team that I think is looking to play heartbreaker. This is not a team with something to play for. They're injured. Their season's gone to shit. They're looking to the finish line. They're just looking to get across the road.
Oh, and by the way, their one winning cover, Chicago.
Yeah. Detroit, they are currently the number 1 seed. Unless Minnesota loses this week, they cannot clinch it. So my conspiracy theory is that Green Bay will win and give us all something to watch on Monday Night Football with this Niners team, because otherwise nobody's going to give a shit. And they're going to lose ratings on the last Monday Night Football. Who is the current Sunday Night Football game for Week 18?
I don't know if they announced that till...
Oh, is that the flex one where they say, like, we're just going to hold off?
Yeah, I don't think they even announce it.
So they... Oh, no, I think this might be it. Week 18, there's 2 Saturday games, and now and the rest is just going to be 1 and 4:30.
They can't have Saturday games on Week 18.
That's what it says.
Oh, they can't be games that are going to clinch anything, because then you could have games that don't matter.
Yeah, and according to NFL, Week 18, 2 games will be played on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. The remainder to be played on Sunday, 1 and 4:30. Oh, there is one. Sorry, one matchup on Sunday Night Football. That's my fault.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder who they're going to have play Saturday. That's weird.
Everything is TBD. My just inclination looking at this. I mean, if the Bengals win, oh God, I could see Broncos Chiefs being flexed to Saturday, and if the Broncos somehow lose, they'll flex the Bengals and Steelers. Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, Seahawks Rams is another option. Or if the Rams somehow lose and it comes to a 9
the problem is, though, you'd almost need to have Bengals Steelers Saturday, because once Baltimore wins, then the Steelers have nothing to play for.
Yeah, no, we're getting into some craziness here. We're kind of getting off topic from the game.
But anyway, Detroit,
Detroit or nothing for me. I mean, San Fran's dead. They are dead man walking. I think they're done. San Fran has lost, I already said, failed to cover 5 of the last 6. My conspiracy theory, and this was my parlay. I parlayed Green Bay and Detroit. I got 2-1 on it. Probably could get higher if you get them at plus money on the money line. I got it at even. But even if you want to take Minnesota, if you like the Minnesota angle, you can probably still get 2-1 or plus 180. If you really think that it's going to come down to those games on week 18, parlay that. I just think this, to me, looks like Detroit has revenge factor on the mind from fucking the NFC Championship. So I could just see this being a mollywhopping from Dan Campbell.
Especially, too, with them losing 14 in a row. Like, Detroit's paying attention to shit like that.
Well, that, and I think of Minnesota. The key for me, like, if I really want to smash it or not, like, is Detroit going to, like, if Minnesota loses, I'm immediately betting on Detroit before that number skyrockets, because I just have a feeling if Detroit goes into Monday night, they have the number 1 seed in hand, they're going to fucking piss all over San Francisco.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck this team. They beat us last year. We just beat them. Nobody could stop. Like, I could just see the motivation factor all the way. Now, if Minnesota wins, maybe it's foot off the pedal. We're going to look at week 18 because... But I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it matters with Minnesota, to be honest with you. Let me double check.
I was going to say, I think even if Minnesota loses, I think they still have to play.
Detroit clinches the number 1 with a win, and Minnesota loss. But if Minnesota wins, they don't clinch the 1. And they don't clinch the division either, I think. Let me see. That's what I'm saying. Like, this game has a lot of implications. Yeah, both are 13-2. So, yeah, this is like a Detroit smash spot. Yeah, this is why it was going to be my best bet. Like, this is a Detroit must-win regardless. Minnesota wins or loses. If Minnesota wins, they have to win to stay alive. If Minnesota loses, they clinch the 1. So,
Okay.
that's about it, man. But we got through it.
We went long. Hallelujah.
Oh, it was the holidays. We were a little off track at some points, but we got our closing remarks. Money Management, give us your best bets one more time for us.
All right, best bet Detroit -3.5. Fade of the week. Time to fade the Cincinnati Bungles. Let's go with Denver +3.
Let's go.
And of course, my dog of the week, Donko Dog. New Orleans Saints +1.5.
That's so disgusting.
I got my gold for the Saints. See? Represent.
All right. My best bets. We're going to start with my best bet of the week. I'm taking the Washington Commies. -3.5 on DK. Just get the better number. Don't bet at the 4.5 on FanDuel. Dog of the week. One more time. Give me the Denver Broncos. Fade of the week. I'm fading the Tampa Bay Bucks as an 8.5-point home favorite. We're taking the Panthers plus the 8.5. Under of the week. I'm going under 37.5 for the Raiders Saints game. Both teams are dreadful and piss. I have nothing good to say about either one. Over of the week. Green Bay, Minnesota over 48.5 points in that game. Mansman. We'll talk off air, but yeah, I got nothing else. Looking forward to this slate of games. We got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you as always to anyone who checks out this video.
Yes, sir.
And other than that, that's all I got. Wishing everyone happy holidays.
Yep, happy holidays. Be safe. Don't forget to fucking bet the right sides. And as always we say, make sure you win that motherfucking money. And remember, winners get to eat and winners get washed.
Winners get washed.
All right. I'm Big Bucks of Beta.
Money Mansman. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Yeah.